you're facing this and coordinating this, probably involved in a lot of that interaction that's going on in that program. Tell us about a specific area you'd like to focus on.
Sure, absolutely. I think one of our most interesting challenges is I'll be a little bit vague and intentionally on the program, but one of our biggest challenges is operating over commercial networks. Right? So we have literally trillions. There are literally trillions of dollars going into investing in the 5G infrastructure and the 5G communication systems, and it's very critical that the DoD leverage that investment rather than trying to compete against it with our own bespoke or proprietary systems. So one of the very interesting challenges is, how can DoD best make use of existing commercial infrastructure as a valid user, respecting the mobile network operators, procedures and policies and all that, yet at the same time still being sufficiently secure for national security level concerns for what you might think of as DoD critical operations. So I think that's one of our most interesting challenges, is how do you operate across commercial networks, not just deploy your own private DoD network. And so obviously we need to do both. In terms of operate through, I often like to talk about operating through other infrastructures in the Department of Defense. Right? So if we went anywhere in the world to do a mission, we would not start by building our own bespoke road, rail, and bridge infrastructure. We would try to operate through existing bridges, existing roads, existing rail systems when plausible. Now, at the same time, Army Corps of Engineers can span a river, build a bridge spanning a river anywhere in the world. We will always have that capability. We always want to continue to have that capability. And we could say the same thing about host country power, about other critical infrastructures. So what about comms? What about 5G? We would like to go in and, when appropriate, leverage existing commercial infrastructure, just like we would leverage existing roads and bridges when appropriate, and also when appropriate, be able to bring our own infrastructure, just like we can build Army Corps of Engineers can build a bridge across any river in the world. So that's one of our biggest challenges. And I will just add one last comment there, which is the commercial infrastructure is fantastic, as many of the commercial speakers here will talk about, all the tremendous investments, the tremendous improvements going out there. From a DoD perspective, security remains one of our critical challenges. And so, can we make that infrastructure secure enough for various DoD missions? I think that's one of the interesting open questions.
Yeah, and I would think it's not only secure, well, obviously secure from a lot of different dimensions, including just resilience, right, and redundancy, et cetera, right? I'm sure that's a big part of that when you're saying secure. You're talking about all the different dimensions of security, reliability, et cetera.
And yes, in fact, if I could follow up on that just a little bit, when we talk about security, we're really talking about 4 aspects of security. And so we have our security folks listening to this will be familiar with the classic, confidentiality, integrity, availability. That's what we usually care about for security. Is our secret data being kept secret? Is the data unmodified? We know who it's coming from. Right? Is the system, as you already pointed out, available and sufficiently accessible for use? I want to highlight one other one, which sometimes can be an interesting challenge, which is observability. Now, for the cybersecurity folks, they'll say, oh, that already fits under the classic confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and it does, and we are not disputing that. But observability can play a very important role as well. I can actually infer quite a bit sometimes by understanding who's talking to whom, even if the data is encrypted, even if the data isn't, can't modify the data, I can't view the data, but just knowing that for example, in my personal life, I'm sending a number of messages to Luke, Luke's sending messages back to me, might indicate something about future Federal News Network segments or something like that. So we're very interested in not only ensuring all those classic cybersecurity things, but understanding what's visible on the network, or what stands out in the network, and what an adversary might infer. So thank you all.
Reconnaissance.